Okay, hello. So today I'm gonna try to just keep this a really short video. I'm just gonna kind of talk over like the very basics of derivatives, of like what you need to know to solve it, kind of hopefully make it make more sense, as well as a kind of like I guess concept that I know that when I was taking calculus one, it kind of made me a little trip up a bit, and I know a lot of other students, right, like my classmates struggled with a little bit, and I feel like it's pretty important because you're gonna get a lot of problems that you're gonna have to I guess manipulate, right? Like what my professor, he had a saying. I was like, "What's another word for calculus? Manipulation." Um, and so first, I'll just show like a super basic, like what you're gonna do when you see a derivative problem. And sometimes it'll be like this, and it'll be formatted different, but it might be like this right here, right? Equals and then something, right? Um, and so let's say you're given like this, and it's like take the derivative of x 2, right? X squared. All you're doing basically is moving this in front of the x and then minus 1, right? So the derivative of x squared is just 2x, right? Because obviously there's a 1 here, but when there's a 1, we don't write it. So it'd be 2x, right? Um, but to me, that's not, I think, what really trips people up, right? That's kind of easy to understand. Um, a problem like this, right? This right here is, I think, what trips people up and is an important concept to kind of learn. Or just kind of like start thinking of that way, right? Which is, okay, you're thinking, well, how do I take the derivative of this, right? Because first off, this is the square root, and it's under, right? It's in the bottom, it's in the denominator. So it's like, how do I take the derivative of this? And you might get problems like this that might be even a little bit more complicated. And so the one thing to remember is anytime something is in the denominator, right, you're basically just going to make it a negative to bring it up top. And also one thing to remember is anything that's under a square root, right? So, you know, this is equal to this, right? Raised to the 1/2. And so if we want to bring this up, right, the way we're going to rewrite this then be 1 power negative 1/2, right? And so now you can take the derivative of this, right? This is super simple. This is, oh, okay, I can take the derivative of this. And another thing to remember too is there's already a coefficient here, right? You're just multiplying that. And so kind of the example I showed earlier, think about this way, right? So this is a 1, right? Imagine if this was a 2 or a 3, it'd be the same thing. It's just you would have a 2 or 3 here multiplied. So it would be, 2 times negative 1/2. But since it's just a 1 and, 1 times anything, it's just basically the same thing. Now this is going to equal negative 1/2. And then remember, we have to subtract 1. So, negative 1/2 minus 1, which is really just this, but then you have to rewrite it. So, but that's going to equal negative 3/2, right? If you want to solve fractions, I mean, the easiest way really is just plug it into your calculator, right? Just do um, negative 1/2 minus 1 and then show the fraction of it. So that's what we're going to write up here, right? After we subtract that. And so the answer is this. But you think some professors might want you to kind of really like clean up the answer or whatever. And so the like final cleaned up version, right? Because it's a negative, you go, okay, well, it's negative. So we're going to put back in the denominator. And so the like cleaned up, simplified, I guess, version would be this, right? 1/2x raised to the power of 3/2, right? And so I think that's really important to remember, especially again with square roots. If you just remember a square root, right? Anything square rooted, but especially x, because you're gonna see this a lot, right? That is the same as just this, same thing. And in the same way that like that can be true, right? If you see x1, 2, you want to simplify it again, that's kind of thing. And also the negative, right? That like you want to bring something up from the denominator, it's gonna have a negative. And so there are plenty of other concepts and rules and formulas, right, that you can get into when you come to like quotient rule, product rule, all these different rules. So I'll make some more videos on those, going more into specific problems. But I just wanted to make a really simple kind of like I guess kind of important concept, as well as just seeing derivatives done in a very simple way. I think it's the best way when you're first kind of learning it.